There's power lines dropping left and right, like just going over. I was sitting there and I was watching houses, roofs, just getting torn apart, you know, piece after piece after piece, just flying through the air and like, you know, kind of just in awe. So we're going up the road. As we're going, these people are yelling us, our house is on fire, our house is on fire. We're like, you gotta get out of here. You gotta go, you know. Sometimes when you're in a nightmare, you can tell yourself that, and then you wake up and you're like, yes, we're in a nightmare. And we weren't in a nightmare. It was very real. I've been a firefighter for 13 years, 7 years in Portland, and then I wanted to move home where I grew up, and we moved back to Maui. My husband and I both got hired with the fire department over here, and we've been here 6 years. And we were sent out to relieve a crew that was on a brush fire that morning, that night. I'm not sure what time that started, but I do know that it was extinguished 100%. And we got called up there to change out with them at the location of that brush fire. And that was up on Lahaina Road. So we went out to change out with them and to kind of just keep putting water all over any hot spots, any cold spots, anywhere where we just kept dumping more and more water all over the location. Since we had sat on it for so long and put, you know, so much water on it, and when we stopped putting water on it, and then we sat there for even longer just to see, you know, and we'd walk the perimeter, we'd walk the inside, and everything looked completely contained and cool. So we went back to the station, knowing that nothing flared up in 5 hours. We ate lunch, we all got a nice meal in, and then that's when the tones went off that there was a brush fire. Same area, and it was probably 20 minutes later. Everything was out, the fire was extinguished. And so to hear that we were going back there, I was like, you've got to be joking. We just were sitting there for 5 hours, not putting anything out. How could it possibly be that we're going back there? That was pretty shocking, to be honest. I was probably there like a couple minutes, and I start hearing, this house is on fire, we need to make a stand here. This house is on fire, this house is on fire. We start hoses going out and debris is flying all over the place, stuff's flying in the air. It's like just complete madness, to be honest. And I'm like, oh my God. So we get there and we get the water supply, and the more we're hearing it move, we're like, okay, we're gonna have to move down. You know, let's go try to make a stance somewhere else. And just then it got too hot. We're like, boom, drop the hose lines, we gotta go. So
for your own safety.
For our own safety, we had to evacuate. We're like, get in the rig, we gotta go now. I don't know.
Trying to picture it again. How many different spots were firefighters responding to?
I have no idea. We all started at one, and then we all were just trying to jump to the next, to make a stance at the next, you know, block or the next location. So we're going up the road. As we're going, these people are yelling us, our house is on fire, our house is on fire. We're like, we have to go this way, I'm sorry. Like, it was just devastating. It's like, we need to make a stand over here if we want to save. Right now, it's just, how do we make it so that there's less damage, you know, so all this whole place doesn't burn. There were people just watering their houses down, and we're like, you got to get out of here. You got to go, you know, and people are running. People are getting out of their cars because there's down power lines and they can't get down. So at this point, people are all like scrambling from this neighborhood as any way possible. And I know multiple people that were just like, screw it. They left their cars and ran down the hill. So we go by and we go to this other place. We're putting water on the fire. This had happened at the last place too. The hose streams were going sideways. The wind was so strong, we had it directed this way, and it was going this way. And it was just like, if we can't get close enough to stop it because we're gonna get burned, if we can't get water, you know, I'm not sure what to do. It was just bizarre. And then my captain's like, we need more pressure, we need more pressure. And I was like, at some point, I felt the intake line, and I was like, Cap, there's no more pressure. This is all the water we have coming in, and it's not enough, you know? So we decide we got to leave. We don't have any more water. We were very alone. We were the only ones in this area right now. Everyone else was trying to go and stop it from moving further down the hill, from what I heard on the radio. And every now and then, like a big plume of black smoke would come over and we'd have to hide behind the engine. And then when we went into town, I looked up and my house, you could see the house fully involved. But you know, I had already accepted it, I think. I knew this whole town's gonna burn down, why not my house? You know, there's moments in your life when you wish you just go and be the hero that saves your town. You know, like what might have went different, you know, had I gone downhill instead of uphill. You know, if I wouldn't have went up and got that water supply established. That's going to keep going on in my brain forever. That's going to go on forever. What could I have done different? What could I have, you know, and who knows what the outcome would have been? Who knows if it would have changed at all? Who knows? You know, looking at it and looking where the fire was, I was like, I don't know that, you know, I don't know that anything could have been done differently.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.